The Sega Saturn was really struggling. Sonic hadn't had a proper original platformer since Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sega desperately needed a killer game. That's where Sonic X-treme came in, but could this cancelled game have actually saved the Sega Saturn? And why is this Sonic game so infamous? But before we get into it, if you could comment, like and subscribe on the video, it would really help out, especially comment after the video, after you watch the video. Thank you. Sonic X-treme had so many prototypes, it's unreal. We had some for the 32X, but after 6 months of being on the market, Sega decided to move everything to the Saturn. The 32X was weird and has one of the weirdest Sonic games, Knuckles Chaotix. It looks very good visually, but the gimmick, not so much. Glad it wasn't called Sonic Crackers though. The team, after throwing away many concepts, finally decided on the fisheye lens. I don't really think this would have helped someone like Sonic, especially with the stages, as they can't really contain them. But it did look kind of interesting, but I don't think they would have pulled it off with the development, as it was really rough on the team, deadlines, changes, and of course Sega of Japan being weird about it all. The team really did have its issues and challenges. After some of the directors walked out, we kind of know the story, but I'll try and sum it quickly. Chris Sen took over and nearly died because of it. And nearly died because of all the work conditions and stress. Same with Christina Coffin, who worked on the bosses. Sonic X-treme had two engines, one for the levels and one for the bosses. The Sonic team loved the boss engine and not the level engine. There's many videos going over the development of the game, but I wanted to mention it quickly as it's a major part of why it got cancelled sadly, and affected the game. They could wait until after 1996 deadline, but Mario 64 just came out and you kind of have to face that game, so I can understand why. But I also want to say one thing, I don't really think Sonic X-treme had much of a chance against Mario 64, but since the team was struggling and a lot of behind the scenes issues were occurring, the trailers are very rough for this game. Something you'd have internally but not for the public to see. But I do like the Mario digs with some of them. But with what they were showing, I can see why Nintendo didn't respond. I find it funny the trailer says rings and Sonic misses them while going through them. Very rough indeed, very. That was the E3 trailer, but to show off gameplay, had a boss fight of Sonic fighting this green crystal. Then we do have footage on Metal Sonic, and we know Sonic was going to fight Fang 2. The Metal Sonic fight seemed pretty fun. Few mock-ups online of it, but I wonder what it would have been like, and I do like the fan recreations. Though, the stages really didn't fit Sonic, and that's why I think Sonic X-treme would have struggled. Sonic works best when he's building momentum and flowing through stages, but a lot of the footage we've seen are these small arenas and platforming challenges that feel more like a tech demo than a finished Sonic game. Like Jade Gully, or some parts really do seem really claustrophobic for Sonic. Take Mario 64, where the stages are built around Mario. It's hard to compare, as Mario had 7 missions and Sonic X-treme was like the others, just reached the end of the goal, but still interesting to see. A lot of stages were shown off, like Crystal Forest, which has a great OST, and to be honest, with some tweaks, I don't think the stage would have been that bad. Death Egg seemed a bit of a nightmare, but if it was a final level, I guess the challenge would seem fair, but it doesn't really feel like a Sonic level with how slow, and the level seems kind of loose. One wrong move and you're gone. Not really how Sonic should be. And the team thought about putting some of the test zones in the game too, and with some tweaks, I think some of them would fit and changed up the background too. But if the game came out in 1987, I think the game could have been better and maybe tweak some of the issues, but with the deadline and how the team was struggling, I really understand how it was cancelled. The team tried to do a port to the PC, but Sega said no, and instead we got a 1996 version of Sonic 3D Blast and then Sonic R. I do think this game would have helped, but not save it like people claimed it would. The levels aren't the best, but the graphics were great for the time, and with what they had, I'd say they did a pretty good job. It sadly got cancelled. Even if Xtreme released, Sega still had bigger problems. The sound was expensive, difficult to develop, and Sony had already taken a large chunk of the market with the PlayStation. Nintendo was releasing the N64, and both companies were supporting the console, while Sega had nothing really to make it worth getting. But Chris Sen shared a lot of what the game would have been like. We even have clips, music, and models. He wanted to try and recreate Xtreme, but that was also cancelled. I guess Xtreme isn't a good fit, and there's another Sonic game called Sonic X-treme that was similar to Sonic Rise but got cancelled as well. Or maybe Sega stole the idea and told them to cancel it. Who knows? They decided to see Sonic X-treme, even without the E, also be cancelled. Maybe Sonic X-treme would have been a decent game, maybe even a good one, but after looking at the footage, the prototypes and state of the Saturn, I don't think it would have been the miracle Sega needed. I do wish it came out, but what was Sonic team doing besides messing with the team? They were cooking up Sonic Adventure, and I can't wait to talk about that one soon. And what do you guys think about X-treme? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and bye bye.